Jeremy Mochail Minjach, Romochrach, Jeremy Mochail Minjach and Jach of me a balai. Jeremy Mochail Minjach, Hunkin Roy, Yorsama, Jeremy Mochail Minjach, Sakami Ferna Hatch, Hook me gosh, the one again, the beer shot the Holofoot, and Hoshi Curie got us round the dinner off and high. Hook me done a pale, who's a funk, a do me ish, a hush, and Hoshi Curie to go, and I'm stuck in hand of God.
How are you and welcome to Programme 2. Misha Mairat. I'm Mairat.
Hello. How? Misha Sheem. I'm Simon. How?
Kama.
How? Misha Katrina. I'm Katrina.
How, Shiv? How, Shiv? You use Shiv, Shiv, when you're talking to more than one person. It's you, plural. Shiv. You try it. Here's what it looks like in Gaelic. Shiv. We'll show you the phrases from time to time, and when you hear the chime, say them. CanSeo? Shiv. Now, here's another way to use Shiv. That's if you're being formal. You'd use Shiv instead of oo, even to one person. If that person was older than you, or was someone to whom you wanted to show respect. Here's how it works. Shiv.
How, Shiv? Jeha Giri.
Hamigiri coffee.
Jeha Shivagiri.
Hamigiri Banya. Jeha Gianov.
Hamigopir. Hamigopir. Remember that phrase from last week? Ha means am, me means I, and gopir, working. Hamigopir. A fellow gopir?
How me gopir?
I want to ask, are you working? So I use a vil instead of ha. A vil u gopir? CanSeo, a rough phonetic guide to the sound first. A vil u gopir? Now, the correct Gaelic spelling. CanSeo, a vil u gopir?
Velo gopir.
How me gopir?
Banya. Coffee.
Chanil me giri banya?
Chanil me giri coffee.
Chanil me gopir.
Chanil me gopir. Chanil, the negative. If you want to say I'm not working, you use chanil instead of ha. CanSeo, rough phonetics first. Chanil me gopir. Now the Gaelic spelling. Chanil me gopir.
Chanil me gopir. Chanil me gopir ichir.
Ichir, at all. There's no words for yes or no in Gaelic. If you're asked a question, you just repeat the verb. You can practice this with the series book and the record or the cassette, but here's how it works.
Een velo gopir.
How? But you're curious
Chanil. Hami guri coffee.
Oh, geleden.
Ti'n mynd y hysio?
Ha gwma dathbelat. Felw gwbyr.
Chanel.
Coffi. Fel siw geri banya.
Ha.
Fel geri coffi.
Ha, mi geri coffi. Fel siw fi geri siwchgar?
Chanel dathbelat.
Coffi.
Tapala. Fel o ski?
Ha. Ha, mi ski. Fel o ffwr.
Ha. Ha mi ffwr.
Ah, mi fwr. I am cold. CanSeo. Ha, mi fwr.
Felw che.
Ha. Ha mi che.
Ha, mi che. I am hot. CanSeo. Ha, mi che.
Felw ski.
Ha. Ha, mi ski.
Ha, mi ski. I am tired. CanSeo. Ha, mi ski.
A jogging ma.
Chanel. Jogging na.
4 adjectives there. Fwr, which is cold. Che, hot. Ski, tired. Ma, good. More of those later. Let's look at the word the. There's several ways of saying the in Gaelic. You'll find a summary of the rules in the CanSeo book. We'll use 2 today. Un and Here they are with 2 words you've already had and a new noun, bíog, which means food. Coffee. An coffee. Brot. An brot. Bíog. An bíog. CanSeo. An bíog. A fel an brot ma?
Ha. Han brocht ma. Fel en bieg ma.
Ha, han bíog ma. A fel an coffee ma?
Chanel. Chanel yn coffi ma ichid. Ha e ffwr.
Ha e fwr. It is cold. There's no single word in Gaelic for it. Everything is either masculine or feminine, he or she. In Gaelic, he is e, and she is e. Coffee is masculine, so it's e. Ha yn coffee fwr. Ha e fwr. Ha yn brot ma. Ha e ma. A fel yn brot ma.
Ha. Ha e ma.
A fel yn coffee fwr.
Ha. Ha e ffwr.
Ha e fwr. It's cold. Ha e fwr yn Jew. It's cold today. CanSeo. Ha e fwr yn Jew. Finally, 2 very important words. First, the word for and is agus.
Coffee. Coffee agus baile.
Uisce bethe. Uisce bethe agus uisce.
Sheem agus Catriona.
Sláinte. Sláinte. Ha mi gál uisce bethe agus uisce.
Ha mi gál coffee agus baile.
Now the other new word, shin. Here it means that is or there is. Shin, coffee. Shin, uisce bethe. Shin, sheem. Shin, Catriona. Shin, baile. CanSeo, shin, baile.
Baile. Velukiri baile. Uisce bethe. Velukiri uisce bethe. Lager. Uisce. Uisce bethe. Shin, sheem. Coffee. Velukiri coffee. Coffee agus baile agus siúcar. Ha voor een Jew. Ha voor een Jew. A velo ski.
Chanel mi giori coffee. Chanel mi giori coffee agus Spaniel. Chanel mi giori coffee agus Spaniel agus siúcar. Ha mi ski. Ha fuair an Jew.
Oh well, ha mi falaf. Coffee. Coffee agus baile. Uisce bethe agus uisce. Lager. Uisce. Ha mi falaf. Baile.
Ha mi falaf.
Ha, me, falav. I am leaving. CanSeo. Ha, me, falav. Ha, me, falav. Gleva. Gleva means very good, though sometimes it's used to mean okay. Now, each week we'll be going to different parts of Scotland to hear Gaelic spoken. Here are people from Harris in conversation.
Cymar how?
Hag ma. I voer een Jew.
How? Beluk op die Jew.
Hag some ski. Wil bier ma.
How I gleba.
Ciao, Gary.
Mi gyrru coffee.
En ook Gary baile agus siúcar.
Ha taplat.
There are regional differences in Gaelic, just as there are in the English spoken in different parts of Scotland. Listen carefully to the voices.
Ciao, Gary.
How me gear coffee.
Even Gary coffee.
Chanel taplat. Mi falaf.
Even Gary baile agus siúcar.
How?
Ciao, Jan and Duke.
Mi kopit.
Those conversations were from Harris. And we'll stay in Harris to look at a cottage industry which is big business in the Highlands. Tweed is woven in many parts of Scotland, but Harris tweed, and the Orb trademark, is a major industry in Lewis and Harris. And in case you think that Harris tweed is rough, hairy, and strictly for the hunt and shooting set, take a look at this. Alongside the traditional jackets and skirts, these high-fashion designs are putting Harris tweed into the exclusive end of the international market. Harris tweed is a multi-million-pound export industry, which is unique in that the tweed is woven by individual crofters on their own crofts and handlooms.
Here, the crofters developed Harris tweed as a supplementary cottage industry, using the wool from their own sheep, dyeing it, spinning it, and weaving it. And from the cottage craft, they developed a huge export trade, with island mills now supplying ready-spun yarn to some 600 home weavers who produce over 4 million yards of tweed annually in their own homes, working nowadays on sophisticated pedal looms. But here in Drinishadder, Mrs. MacDonald still weaves her own homespun yarn on a handloom that was once her grandfather's. Originally, Harris tweed captured its subtle colourings from the boiling of its wool in natural primitive vegetation, sometimes lichen from the rocks, heather, wild iris, nettle. Everything that grew had a colour to contribute to an end product that was reflective of its origins, a tapestry of nature in a web of cloth. When Mrs. MacDonald was a girl, this was a common sight. The women of her village congregated round a wooden trestle, walking the raw tweed, thumping it rhythmically in a mixture of soap and urine to remove dirt and grease, and shrinking the tweed to the statutory 28.5 inches of width, beyond which it would shrink no more in the wearing. It was back-breaking work, lightened by a whole litany of rhythmic and frequently impromptu songs, which enshrined chapters of comment on local events. Live on in the folk repertoire, but the thump of the walking has been replaced by the strum of the guitar. The back break has gone, and alas, the camaraderie. When the home weaver completes his tweed now, he sends it back to the mill from which he got his thread, and he collects his pay packet. The clomp of the walking has given way to the clank of the mechanical finishing machines, and the music is the whine of the engines driving them. Just another old order yielding place to new.
Now for the second part of our serial. Last week we finished as Ian returned early from the fishing to find Ailey and Alistair having coffee in the sitting room.
Alistair, a velushin. Alistair, wie is hij?
Am I fall off?
Wil ik jullie koffie?
And you'd me curie call. Am I fall off? Taplet.
Oh, leche.
How?
Eli.
Aha. Che hashin, go.
Bacca Claw. Chitterwerk.
Oh, ma, go.
Chitterwerk, Anna.
Che hashin?
Bacca Claw. Chitterwerk.
Hij maar gooi. Gleva.
Ik is dat, Anna.
Hij vuur en ju.
U wel? Hij is dat zo.
Che hashin?
Runrig.
Ik wil een brood maken, ju.
Ha? Wil ik jullie brood?
Ha, tappelat.
Wel, dit dan weg.
Gaan je laten maar ietsjes.
Hallo, gooi. Kom maar houden, ju.
Ha, kom maar, trainen.
Wil u voor?
Ha, dat is een ski.
Wil u keren lager?
Daniel. Am keri uskip hagas uskip taplat. Een recordje, ma.
Ha, hij kleva. Che hou keri?
Am keri brocht che. Am voor.
Kleva. Alles te. Bra.
Slaantje.
Slaantje.
Det er shin.
Bacca Claw. Chitterwerk.
Houd je een kumai hoor. A shin ma.
Ha, shing ma.
Ach, wat Trina.
Ha, mi tullig gooi.
Hou dullig. Am mische dullig.
Amrot ma en ju.
Hello. Camera how? In Program 2's revision, we begin with an shin. We've already had shin, meaning there is. Shin and coffee. There's the coffee. And as you'll see in the CanSeo book, shin can also mean that, and can either stand on its own, ha, shin ma, that's good, or it can be used as an adjective. An record shin. That's the adjective. In the episode of the serial you've just seen, you heard an shin, or ashin as it's more usually pronounced in speech, used to mean there when you're pointing at something. It's there. Ha, an shin. So let's summarize the uses of an shin again. Shin, first of all, as an adjective.
Wil u keren lager?
Daniel. Am keri uskip hagas uskip taplat. Een recordje, ma.
Ha, hij kleva.
Let's look at that again. Ha and record shin, ma.
Wil u keren lager?
Daniel. Am keri uskip hagas uskip taplat. An record sin ma.
Ha, Haikaliva.
Now, let's look at anshin, used to mean there. Je ha anshin. What's that there? Je ha anshin.
There, shin.
Let's look at that again. Je ha anshin. What's that there?
There, shin.
Shin standing on its own as a pronoun. Ha, shin, ma. Ha, shin, ma.
There, shin.
Bakke claw. Jit de werk.
How Jennifer Magoy. A shin ma.
Let's look at that one again. Ha, shin, ma. Ha, shin, ma. That's good.
There, shin.
Bakke claw. Jit de werk.
How Jennifer Magoy. A shin ma.
One last phrase from the serial which you'll come across frequently in Gaelic, which is the phrase for come in. Hic ystai. Hic ystai. Come in. The main new point of grammar that we were dealing with in the program was the use of the question and the negative. Instead of ha for the verb, you use a will when you're asking a question. Is it or are you? A villu stands for are you. A vil u ski. Are you tired? A vil u ski. Then came the negative, chanil, for is not or are not. Chanil e ma. It isn't good. Chanil e ma. Chanil mi gopir. I'm not working. Chanil mi gopir. Let's look at them again and listen also for the use of shiv, the plural or the polite form of you at the beginning. But first, a vil u gopir. CanSeo, a vil u gopir. A vil u gopir. Now, the correct Gaelic spelling. CanSeo, a vil u gopir.
Velu cwpr.
Ha mi gopir. Banya. Coffee. Chanil mi giri banya.
Chanil mi giori coffee.
Chanil mi gopir.
Chanel mi gopir. Chanel, the negative. If you want to say I'm not working, you use chanel instead of ha. CanSeo, rough phonetics first. Chanel mi gopir. Now the Gaelic spelling. Chanel mi gopir.
Chanil mi gopir. Chanil mi gopir icher.
So that's three forms of the verb. The straightforward ha, a vil, the question, and chanil, the negative. There were 4 adjectives in the program. Fuer, the word for cold. Fuer. Che, meaning hot. Che. Ski, meaning tired. Ski. And ma, meaning good. Ma. I'd like to revise those with you now, along with 2 of the forms the word the can take in Gaelic. Coffee. An coffee. Brot. An brot. bieg. Bieg. CanSeo2.MPG. Vil en brot ma?
How? Han brocht ma. Vil en bieg ma?
Ha, han bieg ma. Vil en koffie ma?
Chanel een koffie ma ietsje. Ha e voer.
Voer. It. When it stands for masculine nouns such as coffee. Vil en koffie voer? Ha. Voer. Remember, is the masculine. The feminine form of it is I. Voer. She is cold. Voer. That's all for program 2. Ha mi falaf.